So we're going to talk about Marriage Bootcamp Season 4, Episode 4, and it's called Low Blow. But first, let's talk about my hair. So I did like my roots darker, and I never used to part my hair down the middle. You guys know I do like the messy part, or my hair's like really big and stuff. So I did it 2 days ago, I guess, and I think I really like it. I'm gonna go a little bit darker next time on the top, but as you can see, like my blonde's a little darker, and it just gives me a whole different look. I have been platinum blonde pretty much for the past 8 years. You guys know I did like the brown lowlights the one time, which you can kind of see them showing through. So I really like the dimension that my hair has now. So I needed a change, and I really like it. All right, so we're gonna start the episode, and let's see. All right, so you hear me in the bedroom, and it's me saying, "I'm about to get something to eat. Do you want something to eat? I'll make you something." That was one thing I did in the house that none of the other people did. Is say, for instance, I would always make Ink's food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even though it was catered. Sometimes he'd want something else because he's extremely picky, and not just that, but even if it was stuff that was catered, I would still make his plate, heat it up because he always wanted his food like super hot, whatever. Very high maintenance when it comes to food, and at the same time, it's really weird because he doesn't even really like food like that. Like, I love food. I like going out to eat. I like restaurants. Like, my perfect date would be sitting at a nice restaurant, maybe having a glass of wine or a martini, having really good food, appetizer, entree, maybe dessert. Not really too big into that too much, but that is like the perfect date to me. To him, it's like, let's go to Andretti Speedway and play some video games. Let's go bowling. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, yeah, that's fun sometimes, but I'm more of a casual, laid back type of person, and I love to eat. He just like he'll go like once a day eating, and he doesn't even really care. Like, he'll forget to eat and stuff like that. Me, like, I go to sleep hungry. I wake up hungry. I eat like 5 times a day. Like, I just had a Zaxby salad, like some cookies. Like, I be eating. Like, I be hungry. And if you watched my hair tutorial, you would know that I had a cold this past week, so I lost 4 pounds. I'm like, no, I am not doing this. So I've been eating like steak, mashed potatoes, and I'm trying to gain my weight back, which it pretty much looks like it's coming back because my legs were looking super skinny a couple days ago, and I was like, I'm not going to have that. All right, so starting with the episode was the food thing. And then next, Ink says, why don't today we try being your significant other's best friend? No, like, relationship type stuff. And they had like little things on the show for us to do. Like, we had this like little dry erase board, and it would give us like little like exercises to do in the morning, but while we were waiting for the drill. And this one was be each other's friend. So somebody would just, everybody reads the board, somebody just mentions a casual conversation, and then that's what we do. And of course, Sean was like, well, why don't we name positive things about each other? And one person did write on Twitter, they're like, Sarah, but why was your face swollen? What happened to you? Because I tell Ink, well, I was like, I think you're playful, you're this, you're that. And he was like, yeah, I don't even remember. Did I write it down? He said, I don't even remember what the first thing he said to me, but he was like, yeah, and you woke up with your face all swollen and cute or something. So somebody was like, what happened to your face? No, when you sleep, your face, like, it swells up, especially if you lay on one side. That side will be swollen. But overall, if you guys notice, like, look in the mirror when you first wake up, and like everything will be swollen. Your cheeks, your lips, like your whole face will be like puffy because it's like blood flow or something like that. So that's what he was talking about. You wake up, your face is swollen. Ain't nobody punched me in the face. Like, there was nothing edited out where I got hit in the face, just so you guys know. All right, so then it's Mama June's turn, and she criticizes Sugar Bear, and she did that a lot. I never really saw her, like, bring him up too much, but at the same time, she's upset about him cheating, so they're in a very bad place, and they're not getting along. So then it was like Mama June's turn. Like, me and Ink did something cute and funny. Catherine and Sean's was very genuine, and then it was Mama June's turn. Of course, you see Benzino and Althea arguing in the bedroom, like always. And then Mama June's like, well, no, he's not a good father. I mean, the kids don't. Alana, da, da. And if you guys didn't know, Alana is Honey Boo Boo. She's so sweet. So she was like, Alana doesn't feel like, and of course, Sugar Bear's pissed at this point. He like walks to his room, and he's like, I could effing die and you wouldn't care. And I'm like, whoa, I feel bad for Sugar Bear. All right, so Catherine and Sean are talking about arguing words, and they're like, you can use other words, and no, that's not this part. This is something else. I'm getting ahead of myself. So they're telling us to write on this board about what we argue about the most. And Catherine and Sean are like, Catherine goes, oh golly, like I don't know what to write. I'm cracking up. They are so hilarious. I don't know why. Like I really, really like them a lot. They do have good energy and stuff. Do I feel like they're purposely trying to be the perfect couple for the cameras? Yes, I do. But I do think that they're good people, and I really enjoyed being around them. All right, let's see. We write down misunderstandings, and instead of it saying women, and I was like, oh, you want to write bitches, and it was like kind of a joke thing, it should have been more jealousy, because it's not just me with him. And you kind of see this a little bit later as time progresses, but he has tendencies to be quite jealous as well. So if you're sitting there arguing, it's okay to have a threesome, you can invite whoever, and why do you get to pick the people, and da da da. But then you're gonna say, oh, but you gave someone your number, and this is the thing, like, homeboy, your number. I knew him and met him before I met Ink, which I'll get to that a little bit later as well. Not in any sort of like relationship way. Never kissed him, never held his hand, nothing. Like just meet him once or twice and like, hey, how's it going? And didn't even give him my phone number back then, because I was like, I mean, I'm not sexually attracted to you. Like this is gonna go nowhere. But on speaking terms, I did meet him way before I met Ink, and he like dated my ex best friend's best friend. So there was already like a little, circle right there anyways. All right, so then next thing you know, our challenge is we go out into this wrestling ring, and I'm like, I'm kind of excited. I'm like, oh, we get to fight. Like, we get to box. I've been getting hype and stuff. I just posted on Instagram 2 days ago, like, I was doing training at the gym, and I'm starting to, like, do boxing as, like, a warm-up. And I think I worked out with Beast Mode Life? I don't know. I tagged it, but, I'm so sore. My arms are so sore from the gym, because I don't do exercises like that, and I haven't been beating nobody up. I haven't been on Backers Club in a long time, so, And I even joked with the guy. He said something about fighting something. I said, no, girls just usually pull my hair. Like, I wish on Backers Club they would put us in boxing gloves, because you can't, like, pull hair with boxing gloves. Like, let us, like, fight for real without these, girls ripping your hair out. Like, no, don't rip my hair out. Like, hair's pretty, don't rip it out. Oh, and somebody asked too, so I'm doing the underneath, like I'm making it lighter. It was like red on Marriage Bootcamp, and then it was like dark brown, so I'm changing it to blonde. It's halfway there, but you have to do it in stages so like your hair doesn't fall out. Okay, so then Ink goes in there. He's like, you talk about other women all day long. No, actually, I don't talk about other women all day long. I don't know if you're referring to your ex, because he did this a couple times where he was like talking about his ex, but referring to me. I remember we did this interview outside by the lake, and they were like, well, how does Sarah feel about her body and body image and stuff like that? He's like, she's like most women. She wants to lose weight and diet. And I'm like, what? That is not me. And he was like, why you get so I'm like, because I try to promote, like, not promote, but like I work out all the time, like 4 or 5 days a week. I eat a lot. I like to be thick. I like to have big legs. I like to be muscular and stuff like that and healthy. So for him to be like, she wants to lose weight and diet like every other girl. No, I don't. And I'm not trying to promote myself in an image like that. So don't be trying to, I don't know what ex-girlfriend you're like talking about or whoever, but like that's not me. And that was the same in this situation. I don't not talk about other women all day long. The jealousy thing, if anything, would go back and forth equally. If anything, I would say that he is more jealous than I am. All right, so then we're in the wrestling ring, and then he starts to get into a really big argument. He's like, oh, you gave your phone number to my homeboy? Okay, you can kind of hear bits and pieces. This is the situation, for one. It was a pool party. I came to it, and the whole touching a girl's leg and the phone number was all on the same day. So when I get there, he already knows that I know this guy. Like, I met him in the past. He dated my friend's friend, whatever else. So, with that being said, if that's your good friend and you're saying, this is my woman, this is my lady, your friend should, out of respect for you, not be trying to talk to your girl. Okay? That's number one. Secondly, if you're like, oh yeah, that's my girl Sarah, and then there's like all these other girls around, and you like, oh yeah, this is my girl such and such, my girl such and such. Not only that, but like if I'm sitting by myself and you're like running around being all extra like you are and talking to all these other females, that kind of shows, well, Sarah might be my girl, but she ain't my girl like that. I got all these girls. So why would he respect any relationship that me and Ink would have when you're clearly going around flirting and talking to those girls. So then I bring up the point, because this happened a couple hours before the phone number thing, whatever. I got there, my heater hose busted in my car, so my dad was coming all the way from Griffin all the way to Buckhead. It's just like an hour-long drive. And my heater hose popped off, so water went everywhere, so my car was basically broke down. And we're like in the pool. I'm sitting here, Ink's sitting here, and this girl's sitting here. And it's really embarrassing because all these girls know who I am. They're all taking pictures with each other. I'm kind of just sitting there by myself. Like, Ink's the only one I know. And at a couple times, they're like, well, do you want to be a part of our pictures? So they clearly know who I am. So not just that, but like, if I'm supposed to be here with you and you're sitting here flirting with other people, that like makes me look less of a person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, here I am with you, but then you're entertaining these other people. I don't know. That's embarrassing to me. So we're in the pool, or sitting by the pool, whatever, and he's like playing with our feet like this, like in the water, like with both legs. So both legs like this, right? You can't really see what I'm doing. So I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm like, okay, he's been smoking, he's been drinking, that's his friend, like it doesn't even matter. He likes to play, goof off. I'm not even going to say nothing, I don't care. So that's fine, okay? Playing with the feet, that's fine, I don't care. But then he has the nerve to stick his hands. So if this is her leg, and keep in mind he's over here, and he sticks his hand on her inner thigh like that, and I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I even noticed, I'm like, what are you doing? I didn't even embarrass him like I should have. But I was like, what are you doing? Like, that's not okay. And I get up, and he was like, why are you mad, and whatever. And I just go sit on the other side of the pool, and I don't want to be entertained or be messing with any of this. So I'm talking to the guy who cleans the pool mainly, and then I'm talking to this other couple that he's friends with. I don't know anybody here, keep in mind. And he's like running around talking to all these other females. I don't even care. I'm just like, I want to get my car fixed. I'm ready to go. Like, how you going to put your hand on another girl's leg? Like, that's not okay whatsoever. And it's time to go. He's like, you want me to walk you downstairs? And I'm like, nah, like, I'm good. Because he obviously didn't want to do it. You running around entertaining all these other people, and then you make it like it's a big deal to walk me downstairs. Like, I'll go by myself. Well, then his homeboy, plus like two other girls and another guy, had to come down too. And he's letting everybody off the elevator, use your key card, whatever. And I go to get off the elevator, and I was like, well, I might need to come back up. And he was like, take my number down, because how are you going to get back in the elevator? And I'm like, yeah, that's true. He has to use his key card for me to get in the elevator. I'm going to be locked outside, and we might need to put water in my car. At this point, I didn't know it was my heater hose. My dad had just gotten there. So I feel like Ink should have walked me down, said hey to my dad and everything, not let me go by myself, especially right after you're running around at this damn pool party. So I got his phone number in order to get back in, okay? And then I walked down the ramp, and he says, okay, bye, whatever else. And he's starting to go up the ramp. My dad's dog was like going crazy barking and stuff. And I was like, no, I need to go to AutoZone. I need to go to AutoZone. My dad's truck's tire was about to blow out. It was like a whole bunch of drama, right? So then I was like, I need to go to AutoZone and whatever else. And he couldn't hear me because the dog was like barking, going crazy. So that's when I called his phone at that point, which is why he had my number. And I said, I'm going to have to go to AutoZone and then come back up, whatever. That was it. He waited downstairs with me. Ink shows up like 20 minutes later while his friend's waiting with me with my dad, trying to figure out what's going on, whatever. So I don't like that situation whatsoever. He should have been down there with me the whole time. All right, so it's not like I gave the guy my number. No, I got his number so I could get back in the elevator because my car was broke down. And this was after you put your hand on a girl's leg, and I sat there at the party by myself the entire time. And then you want to sit there and be like, oh, you dirty bitch. No, you're dirty. And I don't think it's okay to call people those names. Like, and I didn't even, oh, I'm about to cuss. I didn't even do nothing. Like, I can understand how it looked to him, but when I explained it, he should have been like, oh, okay, cool. And then he went through my phone later that night anyways and read all my text messages and realized I wasn't even talking about nothing anyways. I told the guy I was with Ink, and I was just like barely even entertaining like what he was talking about. All right, so Ink keeps looking at the scoreboard, keeps saying more stuff because he wants to win. He's thinking more points, you win, whatever else. He's just worried about winning all the time. All right, so next thing you know, it's Sugar Bear and Mama June turn. He like running up with his fist, whatever, like he's about to hit her. I'm like, oh my God, Sugar Bear about to knock Mama June out. And then he's so little compared to Mama June. I'm like, Mama June, if you don't just push this little ass away. All right, so the entire time we're supposed to be like cheering the other people on, I was like extremely mad during this because I was like all in my feelings about what just happened and what he said and how he's sitting there trying to portray me on national television when I know I'm not like that and he knows I'm not like that. And I'm sure you guys can tell that that's not what it was and that I'm not like that. All right, so Ink's going to tell Benzino, oh, that's messed up. Ink's going to tell Benzino that's messed up. Trying to make me look bad. Okay, I kind of went over that. But yeah, he's like trying to get with Benzino like y'all aren't even friends, but okay. So Sean and Catherine fight, and in the interview, Ink and I are laughing like, oh, everything is so wonderful. Oh, yeah, that's my wife. That's this and stuff. And Benzino makes the comment, which I think is stupid. He says, Sean throws in the towel. It's just empowering women even more. Okay, so what's wrong with that? They're husband and wife. Like, happy wife, happy life. Like, sometimes you don't have to win the argument and stuff like that. And you don't have to put somebody down to, like, not be throwing in the towel or whatever else. Like, it's not a competition. You guys are partners. You're supposed to get along. You're supposed to encourage each other, not bring each other down. So I believe that Benzino and Ink have the wrong mindset about not empowering women, because I feel like a woman should make the man feel like a king, and vice versa. The man should make the woman feel like a queen. Y'all are supposed to take care of each other and do things for one another. There's no competition, this, that, and you. No. Like, you're just supposed to make the other person happy, period. Alright, so Ink's telling the story to Benzino. He's like, oh, if I tell this bitch. Okay, for one, don't refer to me as a bitch, especially when you're talking. If I tell Sarah that this homeboy wanna. Okay, that's different. Don't be like, if I tell this bitch, as if I'm just some regular, like, whoever off the street. Like, you shouldn't be just saying, oh, this bitch, like, talking to women, about women in general. But to, like, refer to it as me, like, that's completely disrespectful to me. If I tell Sarah, and then you can tell the story and be as mad as you want, because I'm not going to tell Althea, like, if I tell this bitch, blah, 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 and he wanted this, and I'm sitting here calling him a bitch to an outside person talking about that, I think that's completely wrong. I don't like that. Alright, so he says, this is my girl, I'm flirting with those. Okay, so, as I said, it looks like Minnie were at the pool, and blah, blah, blah. And that's the whole conversation. I just went over about the pool thing. Okay, and I say in the confessional, I like that Sean will listen. Ink says, oh, he's a doormat. He has, Ink has too much pride. Oh, he's a door. No, it's not that he has too much pride. I think that he's respectful. And I said, at least Sean will listen. If you listen, you'll understand. If you understand, we wouldn't have so many problems. And I was like, I should get on a pat on the back for that one, because it makes perfect sense. Because a lot of our arguments, and we even wrote it on the board, is about misunderstandings. So if you listen and let me explain, you'll understand, and then we'll have less problems. At the same time, I need to listen to him as well, so we can whatever, but I feel like a lot of times he uses his words to, like, change the situation and make it seem whatever, but I do know that I do need to listen more, but I feel like I'm right most of the time anyways. But I could listen a little bit more. That is something I need to do. Alright, so, next thing you know, the points end up being how much weight we have to carry. We got to carry 42 pounds, way more than everybody else, which is going to be heavy. Good thing I like to work out and I'm strong. Okay, so Jim says, okay, so the winners come forward, and of course, like, it takes them a second, but Benzino, Sunday, and Ink walk forward, and I'm like, oh, okay, look, these people think, like, yeah, I won. Nah, y'all lost. Alright, so Cedric is dragging the rocks all fast up the hill. Sunday's like, wait, I don't want to touch my ankle. And Cedric finally manned up. He was like, nah, you want to talk shit? Come on. Like, I was cracking up. Cedric bossed up in that moment, and that was good, because that's what Sunday needs. Sunday needs him to be, like, a little more demanding of her. So we're dragging the rocks. They're getting heavy. We're trying to be creative. I'm like, okay, let's walk backwards. It helped a lot. Elizabeth says to us, you guys have changed your strategy a few times, and use that strong strategic mind of y'all's to work out with each other in a relationship that makes sense. And I'm sitting here looking like my ponytail got this big lump in it right there. I'm like, why does my ponytail look like that? Like, I did something, and I don't know, with these rocks and stuff, and I got this big piece of hair. I don't know if anybody noticed, but it looked crazy. Alright, so Ink at the top of the hill, he was being sweet. He gave me a flower. When we were getting the lemonade, you'll see, like, this branch of flowers in my hands. It was really nice that he did that. And I actually still have the flowers. There's somewhere. No, actually, he gave me a rose later on in a few episodes, so I kept that rose. I didn't keep those red flowers, but it was really sweet that he did it, and that's why they were in my hand. Alright, so next thing you know, we're in the judging chamber, and Judge Toller says, Sarah, take my seat, and she tells Ink that your bucket is full. There's no room for error. Sarah can't even have an inch. She tells him, like, Sarah can move on, and you'll still have that bucket full of fear or whatever, and that's going to carry on to any relationship, any woman that he's ever with. And me, on the other hand, I can move on and be happy, because, I feel like I'm pretty easy to get along with and stuff like that, and I do be giving people chances over and over and over, but the way he's acting, it's like he doesn't even want to give people a chance, and they do one little small error, the bucket's full, like, he wants to kick them out and say, I can't deal with this. And I'm like, literally, you've done 10 things wrong. I do one thing wrong, and it's small, and then I never do it again, and you want to keep bringing it up. Like, that's petty to me. All right, so Sugar Bear admits to cheating, but he says it was once. He says the other were text messages and phone calls. Mama June doesn't seem to believe it, and my thing almost timed out. And then Mama June, as like, she keeps bringing up men and women. She even says it to Catherine and Sean. We're like, men and women. Like, what are you talking about? I don't see Sugar Bear being with no man, but we'll see later on what goes on with that. Judge Toller says Benzino picked up all the rocks and carried all the weight. And she's telling Althea, like, he soaks up positive energy. Like, you be positive, he'll be positive. He's like, yeah, yeah. And as she's saying it, if you notice, as soon as Judge Toller gave Benzino a compliment, first off, he was kind of like this because he's used to, like, Judge Toller telling him that he did something wrong. And as soon as he did, he was like, yeah, and you see him smile like a little kid. And it's so sweet because, he does, and that's what Ink said too in the house. He was like, look at Benzino. As soon as you give him a compliment, he's like cheerful, whatever, and it makes him want to do better. So with that being said, Althea should learn from it and say, give him positive energy, he'll give it right back. You're in complete control of the situation. All right, so then Judge Toller says, always make sure your wife gets heard, and she's using that in the conversation with Catherine and Sean, and she says that's the number one complaint in divorce court. Always make sure your wife gets heard, and I completely agree. Like, amen to that. All right, so at the very end, Sugar Bear's upset because he's saying to Mama June, you're making me look like an awful person. And you see this little spiral notebook on the table that's black. We actually had to write a journal every single night, and it was like so long. We had to write like a page or two and about what we learned, what was going on, and stuff like that. And I wish we could get it back because I took notes about not only what happened in the house and not just gossip and stuff, but what I learned that day. And we learned a lot on the show. So I need to find out if I can get my journal somehow or another because I haven't seen them. I was like, maybe they're going to post them online. Maybe they're going to mail them to us. I don't know. So who knows what happened to those journals, but that's why that black notebook was on the table. And by the way, I had a really good meeting earlier. These are contracts for my new app. I am creating and developing my own app, and I am the one investing in it. It's going to be completely mine. I'm super excited. It's such a great idea, and I can't wait for it to be done in, probably 2 to 3 months, and I get to share it with you guys, and I know it's going to be very profitable, and people will love it, so I'm super, super excited. But yeah, I will see you guys next week for episode 5, and it will be on every Friday from now on with the holidays being over. And I love you guys. I hope you had a happy new year, and I will see you soon.